All right. Oh my gosh, it ran out on me. Guys, we're live on Stand Up, Stand Out America. Here, I was going to do my intro clip, guys. Hold on. Pause. Break. Oh my gosh. This is a special edition tonight with Luchador and Cody Cag. We are live tonight. Guys, let me just do my intro real quick. So sorry. How did I let that go by? Hang on a second.
Lord God Almighty, we're going to take back our country. We're going to keep our country. We will save this country. And the Lord said, go get some reinforcements. Build yourself an army. And boy, let me tell you, did I. And if people think that we're going to stop fighting for our freedom and liberty, they got something coming.
I had to play that, man, to get us pumped up. That's my little promo, my little intro. Guys, thanks so much. We're doing a special edition tonight of Stand Up, Stand Out America. You're live with Luchador, Bianca Gracia, La Conservadora Tejana, and Cody Cag here. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Getter, where everything is better. So anyhow, guys, thanks for joining us. Cody Cag, thank you for joining us. We have our special guest here, Luchador. Cody Cag, you got a few words?
I have more than a few words.
I know you do. I know you do. Listen, we're going to let you get your few words out because Luchador's fixing to like go. He's got a lot to say and I want to make sure he gets it out and all that. So we're just glad that you're joining us. How are things going right now? What's the pulse of the people right now, Cody? What do you think?
Oh my goodness. I have never been so unenthusiastic to vote. I am one of the persons that goes in on the first day to vote. I'm there at 8 in the morning when the polls open. And right now with the selections that I have, I don't have the urgency. My selection really sucks. I'm usually at the polls after work. I'll be there Saturday, Sunday, all day. I have no motivation, and talking to people, not everybody does. And even the people that are not very politically involved or knowledgeable on the candidates, they're tired of listening to their lies, to their posturing.
Tell everybody what region you're in so they know why you're unenthused about going to the polls, because Luchador is going to have a different message here. He says we got to get to the polls and he's going to tell you why, but here's what he's got to understand. Where are you coming from with this? Where are you at? What region are you in?
My district is, I'm in South Texas, McAllen, District 15, Congressional District 15. My congressional district that is Republican, Monica de la Crenshaw Cruz, she's already stated that she's going to vote for amnesty, that she's in favor of amnesty. And she's endorsed by Kevin McCarthy, by Dan Crenshaw. I mean, yeah, she's endorsed by President Trump, but I think that Kevin McCarthy kind of cancels that President Trump endorsement. So I have I'm not going to vote for Congress. I'm not going to vote for her, and I'm not going to vote for the socialist on the other side. I'm just going to leave that one blank. I'm not going to vote for governor. I have Abbott, who is jeopardized, and, election mode Abbott, or Francis O'Rourke, who we know what he wants and what he wants to do. But I'm just not willing to jeopardize the value of my vote in somebody that doesn't deserve it.
So that's a really good point. A lot of people do feel that way around the state of Texas, around the country, really, to be honest. I mean, you have your pockets of people who are super like enthused. They're like at poll watching, poll workers. They're like working around the clock. There's people around everywhere. It just depends. And there's pockets of people that are just like you and me. We're like, man, I mean, we got, I got judges. I've got other people we got to vote for right here in Harris County. We're in Harris County. So I got people I do got to go vote for. But I'm like you with a governor. I'm like, I don't like either one. I really just don't. And so, but, with that said, I kind of know where I'm at. We know where you're at. I know Luchador is just dying to get in this conversation because he has a different perspective, but he hates the rhinos. And Luchador said, we got to go live. We got to talk about these things that are going around the country. Luchador travels all over the place, and you You're like me, you travel around the country, so you're getting the pulse of the people. Why is this election so important? Because we've been telling people to get out the vote, and then you have people that, like me, there are certain races we just don't care about because we know we're going to get. It's like, you got to vote the RN, you got to vote the RN. I'm like, for what? The R is going to vote with a Democrat. That's what they're voting. That's what their whole, when you go back and look at their voting record, that's what they represent. So why does it matter if they have an R in the back? But Luchador, we're in a crisis right now in this country. Give us your input on why we're in a crisis and what the heck do we do? Because everybody's looking at the Latino vote. Everybody. We're supposed to be the game changers and history makers. But what are we going to do? And what are we really doing?
Unfortunately, in this country, with the establishment ruling both parties, sometimes we're just going to have to take that bitter pill and vote for the lesser of two pendejos. Okay? That's really what we're here. That's really what we have to do. I mean, which one of the pendejos is going to do less harm to me, my family, and most importantly right now, my children? Which one of these two pendejos is going to do the less damage? I agree with what you're saying. I agree. But when we're having to deal with the establishment, look, in my opinion, this is the final countdown for America right now. This election is it. If America does not wake up now, we have 3 indoctrinated generations of Americans who are completely going to outvote the rest of the electorate forever. This is what we have to understand. The demographics of America is changing, not just by ethnicity, but by IQ levels. Do you understand that? We now have 3 generations of Americans that have been completely indoctrinated under a liberal run educational system from kindergarten through college. Plutarco Calles, the president of Mexico, who instituted La Cristiada, said it well when he said it, we must take control of the mind of the youth. You have a video, right, of that. And this is what we're dealing with here. We are dealing with the fact that if this election does not turn it around and bring back constitutional Americanism back into play, it's over. It's over. Because my fear is talking to the other generations, the 3 generations that have been indoctrinated under a liberal run educational system. And you talk, if you think these 2 people right now that you're having to choose from is bad, good luck. We have got to wake up. We have got to go out. We have got to vote. And like I said, right now you have to vote for the lesser of 2 pendejos. But as far as the rhinos are concerned, look, I am almost more afraid of the Republicans taking back the House and taking back the Senate than losing. And you know why? Because if the Republicans take back the House and the Senate, we're going to go back under McCarthy and we're going to go back under McConnell and their pendejadas and their rhinoism. And then the American people who voted for the Republicans are going to say, that's it, we're done. We're done. And the Democrats will run and win in perpetuity. McConnell already showed his true colors by pulling the money out of a New Hampshire race and giving money to Murkowski in Alaska and all of the stuff that he's already doing. McConnell is the problem. He is the godfather of the establishment. My fear is to put him back. Not only that, what is up with Sean Hannity taking Lindsey Graham everywhere with him? That guy is the biggest rhino of them all. Lindsey Graham, in case you don't know, has been the deciding vote of all of Biden's judicial picks. And he's going around with Herschel Walker acting as if he's the answer, as if he's the rah-rah boy for Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker doesn't need any rhino. Herschel Walker himself is an ex-football great. He doesn't need this guy, this little wimpy guy, man, there. Man, in my opinion, Sean Hannity has done a disservice to Herschel Walker by having Lindsey Graham appear every time he was on his show. I know I got turned off by it. I don't live in Georgia, but I've been through Georgia. And a lot of people make the same comments I just made. It's like, why is Lindsey Graham here with Herschel Walker? The hell with Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham is the problem.
Well,
Herschel Walker is the answer.
He's a flip-flopper. Lindsey Graham flip-flopped.
Hey,
all
look,
throughout it's like, oh, I believe in this. Oh no, never mind. I don't believe in this. Oh, I believe in this. One day it's like whatever.
He's a rhino. Him, McCarty, all of these people are the problem. They're the problem. My fear is if the Republicans take back the House, take back the Senate, those same rhinos are going to be running the country. And what do? Except kowtow constantly to the liberal Democrats. They bend over for them.
Hold on, Luchador. Cody has something to say.
Sean Hannity is part of the problem. He's part of the mainstream media. He turned his back on patriots years ago when he started talking against the patriot movement. He does not stand with the patriot movement. So I do not waste my time listening to that man. And when it comes to getting back the House, what use is it that we put in Republicans that already sold their vote to Kevin McCarthy and McConnell? They're still going to be in control. So what we're doing by voting for the Republican Party and the candidates that they give us is we are telling the GOP, it's okay. We're going to accept whatever candidate you give us. You know, we're going to stop fighting. So I am not going to give my vote to the GOP or to the Democrats just because it's the less of worse evils. To me, a rhino is more dangerous than a Democrat because at least I know where the Democrat stands. When you vote in a rhino, they get they're the incumbent. We're not going to be able to remove them. We're not.
Rhinos are the problem in America. You know, Bianca, earlier today we were talking about, everything that's going on, especially in the educational system of America, right? That didn't happen overnight. Not only that, the Democrats in and of itself, they didn't create the liberal failure educational system that we now have in America. Guess who let them institute it? Rhino Republicans. They let it happen. Do you really think, my goodness gracious, man, anytime any type of a conservative educational message is put out, what do the liberals do? They unify. They shut it down. What did the Republicans do? What about Texas? Texas with Greg Abbott. I agree with what you just said, man. Greg Abbott is a problem. Do you know that the books that are used throughout the entire public school system throughout the nation are approved here in Texas first?
Let me say
what is in that? What is in that? What has Greg Abbott done? Seriously, what has he done? You're right. I mean, from what I've seen and heard, he's all of a sudden he's a conservative again because he's running for re-election. And thank God he's running against a fake Mexican. And I hope enough Latinos are trying to figure out that this Beto is the biggest pendejo, man. I mean, good gosh, my God, I hope they see that in Texas, But in Florida, where I am, DeSantis is the real deal, man. DeSantis is for real. That vato is, man, I tell you what, man, I love DeSantis. I have seen what he's been doing in Florida. That's where I am right now. And let me tell you, man, he's the real deal. And he's Latino. And he's got the message. And his wife is a great advocate for children. I'm talking about, I think we have somebody here. But again, I am fearful of the establishment taking over the House and the Senate for the Republican Party. All of these new guys that are coming in need to immediately remove McConnell from power and McCarthy and all of these guys that have put us in the situation we're in, including Lindsey Graham. Herschel Walker, I pray Herschel Walker wins. But if he does, Herschel Walker needs to completely run over Lindsey, say, all right, thank you, but now get the hell out of my way and carry the ball and make touchdowns for America.
Luchador, I'm not confident that if we get these people in, they're going to even do that. I'm just not confident. But let me tell you, Snarky Mark says, and he makes a good point. So Snarky Mark, I like this on Getter. First, we destroy the Dems, and then we hunt the rhinos, is what he's saying. First, let's destroy the whole Democrat Party, and then we go hunt the
no. I think it's backwards. Because my amiga just said it right. We know the Democrats are the enemies of America. We know that. It's the rhinos that pose the greatest danger. They're the Benedict Arnolds. We couldn't have won the American Revolution if we hadn't gotten rid of Benedict Arnold like we did, right? We need to get rid of the Benedict Arnolds first, because what good is it to have a front and go after the Democrats when we're going to have the McConnells and the McCarthys and the Murkowskis chopping us on the block and the Cheneys cutting us off at the knees? What good is it? We have to first go in and clean house, like I talked to you earlier, Bianca. We have to go in there and clean house in the Republican Party.
Yeah.
And it starts at the top. It starts at Ronald McDaniel. It starts at removing Romney's niece.
Yep.
That's one of the things that I hear, like with the race I have here in District 15. A lot of people don't like their choice for Republican, Monica de la Crenshaw, but they're like, oh, we'll get her in, and then once she gets in and turns it red, we'll replace her. It's not that easy. Once they're in, it's going to be harder to remove the incumbent, especially when she's out there supporting Kevin McCarthy. They're going to pump in more money into her. We're running against the GOP establishment money. We had a good candidate that was a retired Border Patrol. He didn't even get a chance to speak. He wasn't even invited at the table a lot of times with the Republican Party. And he had the qualifications more than any of the candidates down here, but they wouldn't listen to him. We had Don Hopkins. We had Alan West and Chad Prather, who were great for governor. But again,
I agree with you. Alan West was my choice in Texas. Alan West was. And it broke my heart that the Texans couldn't see the beauty of his message, the purity of his message.
Well, I know Alan West. We know him personally, and I respect what he's done, but my choice was Don Hopkins. Don Hopkins was my choice for governor.
Well, we had good look. It was anybody but Abbott. It was anybody but Abbott. That's what we were all saying. Anybody
Abbott
but Abbott
was getting booed everywhere he went. That's why he chooses not to appear in public. That's why when he agreed to have that debate with Francis O'Rourke, he wanted it in an area where there wasn't an audience, because he knew everywhere he goes, and he knows he's going to get booed. That's how much he's hated, not only by Democrats, but by Republicans too, by conservatives.
Okay, so you're in Texas. Is it or is it not true that every major city in Texas is now completely run by liberal Democrats, from Dallas to Laredo, from El Paso to Houston, under whose watch? Greg
San Antonio.
Yeah.
San Antonio.
I just got a Republican mayor, so I don't know.
Who's a Republican mayor?
Down in McAllen, they got a Republican mayor.
Oh, well, okay. Well, yeah, but I mean, like I said, the RGV.
No, he reached out to both.
I mean, the whole thing, San Antonio is run by a guy from Boston, Massachusetts, for God's sakes. You're going to tell me that the largest Hispanic population in the United States couldn't vote for a conservative Latino? They had to vote for a guy from Boston? The chief of police in San Antonio isn't even Latino. The head of the fire department isn't even Latino. San Antonio has a municipality for electricity and water, and they're not run by Latinos. Well, I think the water system is now run by Latinos, I think. But the thing is that how in the world is a city of 70% Latinos not up in arms over this? Where's the representation? Where's the diversity? Where's the diversity? I thought liberals were all about diversity. Where's the diversity in San Antonio? There is no diversity in San Antonio. Liberal white Democrats and liberal African-American Democrats run a city of 70% Hispanics. Oigan, despiértense. ¿Por qué están así con el sombrero esperando que te den una limosna? Levántense. Good Lord, San Antonio. What is up with San Antonio?
That happened under Abbott's watch.
Yes.
Texas turned purple.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Turned blue under Abbott's watch.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to be this conservative. And look at the way Austin is. The homeless problem in Austin. The defund the police in Dallas. And like Dallas is...
And in Austin.
And in Austin, you have all these areas. And if you listen to the debate, I don't know if you got to listen to the debate between Francis and Abbott. Abbott, I mean, Francis, to me, I'm not a friend. I don't support O'Rourke, but he had that debate. He controlled the debate. He had the message, and he was better at speaking. Abbott did not have a fight because he said, "Well, I'm going to do this." Well, you've been governor for how long, and you haven't done it. He remembers what he's going to do only when it's in election mode, and that's a problem with Abbott.
Abbott is only a conservative on election year.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
it.
he gets money from one of the biggest Democrats open border supporters in South Texas. Every time he comes here, he takes money from Alonso Cantu, and that's who funds Abbott, and that's why Alonso Cantu gets in all these boards for the state of Texas, and he owns the biggest hospital in South Texas, and he was in the Open Texas board. Who benefits from keeping Texas closed? The hospitals. Who's making money from COVID? The hospitals. And yet he's one of Abbott's biggest donors.
Cheryl McLeese Sotelo says, guys, what can we do? Because we got these issues. Listen, I've been traveling around the country, and you all look, we're in this MAGA movement. We're in the movement of the people, the constitutional movement. We understand what's important. And we know one thing because we stay really attuned with what's going on in the political realm. But I've traveled the country. I was in Arizona, and believe it or not, the citizens in Arizona, they're worried about the chicken problem. I was like, chicken problem? Wait, what? They're like, we have a chicken problem. I know you have a problem too, but they were worried about the chicken problem. And I said, what? I mean, because I'm over here thinking McConnell is a problem, McCarthy's a problem, rhinos are the problem, open border habit is a problem. I mean, I'm thinking over here, and they're like, no, we have a chicken problem. If anybody can solve the chicken problem here in Arizona, we can get elected. Then I go to Michigan, and not Michigan, I'm sorry, in Wisconsin. I go to Milwaukee, and in the Black community, their concern was not anything else that's concerned that we think is concerned. They do care that there's higher prices of, and crime. They cared about the crime, but their main concern was abandoned buildings. And I'm like, that was their main concern. There's all these abandoned buildings in their neighborhoods. They said, we could have community centers here. We could be educating people on how to fill out an application to go work because people need jobs around here. This is why that we have the crime rate is up because people are sitting there jacking each other. The stores, you can't even, they get pilferage. I mean, there's homeless teenagers on the street. There is, crackheads walking around the street. It was really sad, guys. It's really, really sad.
But Bianca, all politics is local. All politics. I don't care if you're a senator. I don't care if you're a senator. I don't care if you're governor. It's all local.
That's what General Flynn says.
All politics are local. Everything that's going on nationally is a collection of everything that's going on locally. Okay? So all politics are local. People are always going to discuss what's going on in their own backyard. Okay, I know my mother, in the state that she's in, she talks constantly about the homeless in her neighborhood now that are just literally running over her neighborhood now when you've never had it before. And she's asked, what is going on with this nation that I love? Why are these homeless people all over the place destroying property, And my question is, where are the environmentalists? I thought they cared about the environment. Do you see what the homeless do to the parks? Do you see what the homeless do when they urinate and do everything on the water table that filters down? Where are the environmentalists? Where are these liberal environmentalists? That's what I want to know. I thought the environment mattered to them. Obviously, it doesn't. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it doesn't. Oh, my goodness. Also, what I want to know is, I wish Mr. Pelosi well, but how come there's not a movement by Democrats to all of a sudden ban hammers across the nation? You want to really take off his
they want to take away our guns.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but where is the hammer movement?
Where's the hammer movement? Where's the anti-hammer movement?
Assault, what is it?
Where's the anti-hammer movement, for goodness sakes? That's what I want to know. Where are the anti-hammer movement? Because God knows that nudist, the encuerado didn't do it. The hammer did. So they need to release him from jail. He didn't do it. He didn't hit Pelosi on the cabeza. He didn't do it, man. Obviously, the hammer did.
I hear you. I hear you. You know, that's the thing. But they're asking. I mean, this lady has a legitimate question. What do we do? We have all these problems. I mean,
Well, every family has issues, right? Every family has issues. How do you resolve issues within the family?
con la
Bianca?
chancla,
Okay, exactly.
con la chancla.
Exactly. We got to give some chanclazos to these rhinos. That's what we need. We need chanclazos to rhinos. We need to get rid of the rhinos. We need to clean house first. Okay? First. This is why the establishment hated President Trump, because he did not need them. He was the first president in the Republican Party that had zero need for the establishment's money. And that's when they turned on him. I know, Bianca, and you know, Bianca, we have both been privy to the inner workings of the RNC. Both of us have, Bianca. And you know what I'm talking about, Bianca.
I
The
know.
problem starts at the top. Okay? That's where it starts. And you have what I would call almost an evil triumvirate in the Republican National Committee, in the RNC, and that is made up of Ronald McDaniel, McConnell, and McCarthy. That's the issue. That's where we clean house, right there.
So all this new candidates, all this freshman Congress people that are going to enter at the primary, if they, not the primary, sorry, at the election, if they win, they already have promised that, I mean, in order to get the McCarthy endorsement or the McConnell endorsement, you have to sell your soul, basically.
Oh yeah,
so
look what's
they already sold
right.
their soul. They already sold their votes, their voting rights. So when they,
I mean, what they pulled $5 million from New Hampshire overnight. They pulled something like $7 million out of the election in Alaska for the same reason. I mean, just because they wouldn't pledge themselves to McConnell. Who does that turtle think he is? I am sick of the tortuga. We need to get rid of the tortuga, man. I'm sick of them, man. Yeah, basta con la tortuga, Chihuahua. Dale una torta a la tortuga y llévalo ya, man. Get out of there. Get out of there. Ya basta. Dale torta y que se vaya la tortuga.
You know, there's an organization called Basta out in California, and Ron Flores, he wants to work with us. He's been all local, and he's like, look, California's California, so he's helping, whether it's independents, old school blue Democrats and Republicans. And so whatever's best for the community is what he's doing. And he said, whatever's best for the community. He said, you can't, not one size fits all, right? He says, so depending on where you live, you got to find the best one that represents the community. You can't always say, okay, we're just going to vote straight Democrat or straight Republican or whatever. You find the best candidates. He's been helping the best candidates. He's phenomenal. He's great to work with, pure grassroots. And they're making him at Basta because he says, we're basta. We're done. We're done with the whole establishment, the rhinos, the liberal left. We're done with all of it. So he's finding the Democrats that do really care about the community, that are conservative and don't believe in killing the babies. You know, he's finding the Republicans who maybe are a little bit moderate because he's dealing with California. You know, and he's like, in California, it's so liberal.
Mira.
He says you gotta figure out how to work around these people and take the local community, your local back.
Okay, mira. In my opinion, it's pretty easy. We need a populist Americanism movement, and Latinos can lead it. Nobody has been more involved from an ethnic perspective than Latinos in America's fight for freedom. As you posted, Bianca, the videos of the 61 Latino Medal of Honor winners. Our people have been winning the medal.
We lose him.
It was
there he is.
Since it was founded. All right, the Medal of Honor was created by Abraham Lincoln, and in that first year of the Medal of Honor, a soldier by the name of John Castro won it at the Battle of Gettysburg. How many Latinos know that story? See, that's the populist movement.
They don't.
That's
They
the
don't know that
populist
story.
movement. That's right. Instead, we are privy
Mm-hmm.
to the stereotypes that
Mm-hmm.
liberals and the Republicans want to paint us as. That
Mm-hmm.
we just got here, that we don't speak English, and that all we can do is menial labor. No, that's not the Latino community, pendejos. The Latino community is a diverse community that has been fighting for freedom in this nation since the beginning.
Yeah, that's what I say. I say that all the time.
Since the beginning. Have you? Oh my God. I mean, my God, what in Texas? What do you think Galveston is named after? Only a Spanish guy by the name of Galvez who kicked the British out of Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, and basically secured the southern flank for the American Revolutionary Army to not have to worry about the British coming into the southern flank. See, this is the history that they don't want our children to know, our Latino children, because guess what that would create? Proud Americans.
Yep.
And liberals don't want proud Americans.
Nope. They sure don't. They sure
But this
don't.
is the history. This is all part of what I would call a populist Americanism movement that we have to start.
And you know what is that? I think the Hispanics, we have the numbers.
We do.
We have the numbers.
Oh, we do. Trust me. The Republicans and the Democrats are scared to death of Latinos and the power that we have if we all go out and vote as a bloc.
Well, you know why? You know why they're scared of us? Because the Democrats want to keep us in the plantation, and then the Republicans, they just want to kind of have us in the tent, but they don't want us to really have a seat at the table. They just want us to go give our votes to them, just so that we don't give it to the Democrat.
No.
So it's like one doesn't really want us there, and the other one just wants to keep us under their little. They don't want us to be up here. They don't want us to have this. That's why they indoctrinate our children in the schools, because they don't want us to have this.
That's correct.
They don't want us to know our history. They don't want us to know our history at all. They don't want us to know anything that we've done, what we haven't done. They just suppress us and tell us, "Oh, we're just victims. We're victims of the community. We're victims of our."
Well, the victim mentality is at the root of all liberal policies. Okay, everybody's a victim. My gosh, my God. You know what? No, I'm not a victim. I'm a champion. If you're an American, you're a champion. You're not a victim. If you're a victim, then guess what you are? You're not an American. If you're a victim, you know what you are? You're a failure. Because in this country, you can stand up and fight for yourself every minute of every day. If you're a victim, then you are a failure. If you're a victim, then you know where you belong. You belong in a socialist country where they're going to take care of you from the cradle to the grave. If you are a victim, you are a loser. In this country, we are winners. And Latinos are at the peak of that. We win, we work, we fight, and we always do everything to stand up on our feet. Because in the immortal words of Emiliano Zapata, prefiero morir de pie que vivir en rodilla. That's who we are.
Yep. You made the last time I interviewed you, you said something. You said, you know, look at the workforce when they're out of work. What is it when they're you said it. Unemployed. When they're unemployed, he's unemployment. You don't see a lot of Latinos on unemployment.
No,
it's the blacks and the whites are on unemployment.
I was talking about the homeless. I was talking about the homeless population.
The homeless people. You don't see a lot of homeless Latinos out there. You don't.
Well, they're starting to grow. But the thing is, usually Latinos, no, it was just like, you know, as an American growing up, I'm a fourth generation American. I speak 3 languages. And as I was growing up, being on food stamps was taboo.
Yep.
Being on food stamps was the lowest thing you could do as a Latino. Being on food stamps, I remember people saying, "Mira, el flojo no quiere trabajar."
It was degrading.
Yes, it was degrading.
Yes.
It was very degrading, yes.
Now, because of liberal policies and liberal indoctrination, it's aspirational. It's aspirational.
They compete on how much you're getting
to
more.
live in public housing. Generations after generations of generations live in public housing. It's aspirational to live there. Why do you think? Why do you think they made?
Luchador, let's go back. You're right on the camera. You're like right on the camera.
I'm
You're
ready.
getting all mad. You're getting
I'm
all
ready to do some headbutting. That's what
I
we
know.
need, man. You know, I'm
Calm
gonna go.
down.
I'm gonna
Calm
go.
back.
Go ahead. I'm gonna go nariz to nariz with the rhinos, and I'm gonna win. That's what I want to do. All right, I'm ready to go after these rhinos, man. You know, but
Oh yeah, why is it that you want to champion this luchador persona? We've talked about this. What do you think the luchador means to our culture?
it means somebody who never gives up.
Mm,
It means somebody that is a champion of the people, for the people, and by the people. What does that sound like?
that's awesome.
That's what a
Awesome.
luchador is.
Yeah.
A luchador stands for what he believes in.
Mm-hmm.
A luchador takes the energy of the people and uses it to strengthen himself, to fight harder, and to overcome obstacles. We're all luchadores in this
Mm-hmm.
nation. All of
Mm-hmm.
us are luchadores in this nation. Somebody in your family was the luchador that left their homeland to give you the opportunities of this nation.
Mm-hmm.
And now you want to be the victim? Now you want to think that you're a victim? Oh my God. This is completely against what your great grandfather, your great grandmother gave everything to give you, was to be a champion, to give you the opportunity to be a champion.
Well, that's why 34% of our, and it might be more, of our Latino community is in the armed forces.
They now, somebody told me, and I don't know if this is true, that the majority of the Marine Corps is now made up of Latinos.
It is made up of Latinos, yes. What does that
Unbelievable.
tell you? The luchador, the
I'm telling you.
fighter.
I'm just telling you.
Look, they have the fighting mentality, right? To
Yes.
go fight for the country. But also it's one of their avenues to get out of the barrio and do something better for themselves.
Well, think about that. Think about the difference of what Latino kids are doing. They're not going into the gangs. They're not going into the drugs. They're going into the military to protect us.
Yeah.
But that's also in danger. Did you hear the testimony yesterday in front of the Supreme Court from these liberals that say that diversity also needs to be in the ranks, in the leadership of the armed forces? They're setting us up to lose. They're setting us up so that all of our Latino brave men and women will become victims of failed leadership. My gosh, this is why this election is so important. And I understand we're frustrated. I understand but we have to vote for the lesser of two pendejos. But when we vote for the lesser of two pendejos, then we need to hold these pendejos accountable. That's what we need to do, because we've let these pendejos win and then they go out and do whatever they want. No, we need to get up and we need to hold them accountable. Daily.
Luchador, Cheryl McLeese says, move to Texas so you can run against Abbott. I'd vote for you, Luchador.
Come on. We will do it.
Let me tell you, we do need some more fighters, and we need some more, not the narco culture, reinas del sur. We need real, true conservatives, Latino conservatives that run for office, that are going to do the right thing for their community, number one, that they're going to represent, but that they're going to do the right thing constitutionally, and and be a true conservative, and that's what we need. We need some more righteous people to take
that's a good
more
word.
America first people.
America first, that are going to put America first.
There's nothing, what's funny is, like, I heard that in Mexico, there had this entire campaign, patriotic campaign of, Mexico Primero. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So they can do it, but we can't. But
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well. I mean, you gotta understand. I feel sorry right now, for my cuñados and mis primos in Mexico, because you know why? The United States always beats Mexico. Mexico used to have the most pendejo president in AMLO. Well, we just beat Mexico again with Biden. I feel so sorry for Mexico. We're always beating them, man. The United States now just even beat Mexico and having the most pendejo president in the world, which is Joe Biden. Man, poor Mexico. They can't even win, even with a pendejo president like AMLO. We beat AMLO with our own Biden. Hijo, pobrecitos mexicanos, man. I feel sorry for my people.
My esta Cody Cag is also, her roots are from Mexico.
I was born in Monterrey, in Mexico.
Oh, yeah, ves qué triste, pobrecitos de mexicanos, man. I thought they thought they wanted, they had voted in the most pendejo president of all time, and all of a sudden here comes the United States, and we even beat them with Biden. Pobrecitos.
Oh yeah, well look what happened just in Brazil.
Oh my God!
I mean,
Lula.
Don't even get me started. I mean, what?
Don't get me started.
Was horrible.
Don't get me started with
hey, but the rumors are that the Bolsonaro is going to call in the military to go and. I'm like, if that guy does do that, he's gonna have more, cojones than Trump did, because Trump didn't even do that.
Oh man, well, I'm just like,
because he knew with the level of corruption.
You know what? I'm glad you bring that up, Bianca. Here's another thing. This is when you know you're dealing with the rhino. When they bring up January 6th and apologize. Stop apologizing. If you're going to apologize for January 6th, then make every Democrat apologize for the 4,000 riots that BLM and Antifa did across the nation first.
Yeah.
Stop apologizing for January 6th, okay?
Yep.
Until the Democrats apologize to every American for all of the BLM and Antifa riots across the nation that cost us what? $500 billion? That tore down our history, that tore down statues across the nation. Until they apologize for every one of those, I don't want to hear one more apology from any Republican or any conservative for January 6th. The moment they do, you will need to call them out and say, why are you not first demanding that Democrats apologize for the BLM and Antifa riots? Ya basta. I'm tired of this.
Yeah,
my
well,
goodness.
you know what?
That's a loser. That's a loser right there.
They are. No, they are. They're all cowards. They're cowards is what they are. They're cowards. And this is the thing that really makes me really mad is that the liberal left and these, socialist groups are always about human rights. And all these guys and ladies who've been in prison, imprisoned because of January 6th, they've been imprisoned. They've been mistreated. Congressman Louis Gohmert and Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene have written a report that's on Marjorie Taylor Greene's website talking about the mistreatment and physical, mental, and emotional mistreatment of these people. And a lot of them were previous, veterans.
Oh, and they were withholding medical attention. Yeah, for cancer treatments and
Where were the Republicans and the leadership for that? No,
where are they?
They all went to the corner. Still? They all went to the corner and said, "I'm sorry, pendejos. I'm sick."
You know something else? Senator Cruz was on The View, and they were arguing with him that there was no BLM or Antifa. They don't even know who Antifa is.
Well, you know why?
Give me a freaking break.
Okay, you know why?
Whoopi or whatever. Whoopi, vámonos de allí. Basta.
¿Para qué anda con brujas? My mom told me, nunca te juntes con brujas. ¿Para qué anda ahí con las brujas? Get away from the brujas, man. All right? Good Lord. Man, you're jamás. I would never go on with those brujas, man. Forget about them, man, But you know what? They're the audience that they have in there, man, I mean, why even subject yourself to not only brujas, but then all of the followers of these brujas? I mean, why are you even going to subject yourself to that? You already know there's no use, man. You always know when you got a pendejo in front of you, when they just don't want to listen, man.
Well, Senator Cruz took his book. The audience didn't care about his book.
No. Like I said, I never.
Why even bother? Why even waste your time?
No.
They're not going to buy your book. That's not the audience that's going to buy your book.
Exactly. They'll never. Well, number one, you know why they're not going to buy the book? Because they went through a liberal educational system. They can't read.
No. No, listen. He told them they were getting a free copy of the book. The people in the audience,
Oh,
and they
They
all
probably
laughed.
left it
okay,
behind.
all right.
No,
Look,
they probably have to be. They laughed. They
okay.
laughed while he
Well,
said
yeah.
it.
Well, because again, number one, they're indoctrinated liberal pendejos. So number one, they can't read. And if you give a liberal pendejo a book, all they do is burn it. So what the hell would you give them a book anyway, man? They're book burning fascists, man. I'm not gonna give those pendejos anything, you know? No, man.
Yeah.
But he should have given them what he should have given them is a lollipop and tell them, here, go suck on this.
Well, even Ted Cruz. No, even Ted Cruz criticized the January 6th, the Patriot movement.
That's what
He
I'm saying.
denounced the January 6th people. So
That's
him
what I'm saying.
himself has been
No.
jeopardized.
I mean, liberals don't apologize for one thing, and liberals are at the root of every problem that this nation has. Every problem from poverty to immigration is all a direct result of failed liberal policies. When do you ever hear them apologize? Never. Never.
They
But
don't.
yet,
For
the
nothing.
rhinos and these pendejos are out there apologizing daily for what? For what? For sneezing? January 6th, if anything, was a sneeze, man. They're the ones who blew it up into a full-fledged flu. Oh, funny. That's the same people that blew up COVID, right? Gee, wow, my goodness gracious, man. You know what? Yeah, basta. Yeah, basta. I want to be part of that group, basta. They need to put me on there. I want to be part of that team. I want to be part of that World Cup.
Imagine both of them together. Oh my
Oh
God.
my
No,
God.
can you imagine? Yeah, can you imagine Ron and Luchador? No, hombre.
I want
No,
basta.
Oh my
I want to be.
nos
I want to be the.
cagamos aquí.
Hey, I want to be the defender for Basta. I want to be the goalie. Pa acá, pa allá. I'm gonna block everything for them. You know what I mean? Come on.
I'm gonna tell Ron, you gotta go check out our thing. We're talking about you. Basta, basta, basta.
All right.
I'm telling you, listen, we're like in a tough, we're in a tough time. And I know, Cody Cag and I have talked about this. Yeah, there is no, I mean, I know I gotta go vote. I do that. There's gonna be a couple people I don't vote for, okay, on my ballot. I'm gonna skip the race on a couple of people. But for the majority of the others, I am going to, vote for some people. If they've earned my vote and I believe that they truly deserve my vote, they're going to get my vote.
But again, Bianca,
But
this is the last hope. This election
this is what I've been saying all along. This uniparty,
Mm-hmm.
Abbott's in charge. They already pretty much rigged the primaries. What makes you think they're not going to make sure they keep the state of Texas?
Monica de la Cruz is winning. We've been saying that. Mayra Flores is probably going to win. I mean, she shouldn't. She's a rhino too, Mayra Flores, just in case you guys don't know. But to me, I am going to go vote. But like Bianca, I'm not going to vote for down the ballot. I'm not voting in the governor race. I'm not voting in the Congress race. I'm voting for DA at the local offices. But you have to earn my vote. I have to believe that you are a true conservative and that you are going to represent the conservative, party that you're running for.
Look, I totally respect what you're saying, and I do agree. However, there's one problem that too many constitutional conservatives have, and you know what that is? We keep waiting for the Messiah. We can't wait for the Messiah, man.
For the perfect candidate, you're saying?
No,
we can't.
I'm not. I know. I know that I don't agree with a lot of candidates, and I support them. I mean, there's some candidates that are not even from my area, and I was willing to help them out, and I didn't agree with them 100%, maybe 85, 90, but the core was there. They weren't selling out to the establishment.
I 100, don't get me wrong. I 100% understand. I 100% empathize with you. But at the same time, we have to keep the enemy away from getting power, because once they get power, they consolidate. This is what we have to understand.
Either the Democrat or the Rhino, they're both enemies. So I'm voting for one enemy or the other enemy. It's the same enemy.
Well, I mean,
it's the same uniparty enemy.
I understand. And trust me, I understand what you're saying. But look, being in corporate America, having been working closely with the RNC, having been...
Hold on. I got to read some of these comments. Terry Christie, we can't let Beto win, though. I don't care for wheels. I don't care for wheels. I want it west, and we will work on that next. Terry, man, you get bravo. That's hilarious. I gotta say. Samara Halak says, I won't sell my soul for a rhino. Gloria Perez says, Luchador, love listening to you. Let's vote for Bianca Luchador. You can be her right hand. Gloria, thanks. You're hilarious. I love that. Cheryl's over there agreeing with Terry. Me too, me too. And Jeanette says, hey, we got to get out and vote Republican to get control of our country. And we're not saying don't go vote.
You all vote.
You gotta go vote.
I told you want to vote, you vote. I don't tell people not to vote. And you got to understand. I am, and I was talking to Bianca. It is very, I want to say depressing, but frustrating. I am a VDR. I was out there block walking. What is it? 90% of last year, almost every day last year. I was not.
Cody is known for block walking.
I was phone banking. I ran for office. I did a lot. I believe in voting, and I think it's one of the privilege of becoming a U.S. citizen. In 1 year, I did so much as a U.S. citizen, and I urged people to vote, and I registered a lot of voters. But I cannot vote. My vote is very precious, and these people do not deserve my vote. If you want to vote, do it. Vote for whoever you want to vote. Go down the ballot. Do not go down the ballot. Mix it up. Democrats, Republicans, whoever represents you and is going to do for your community and for you. But I am not going to sell my vote.
Well, a vote is the most precious thing you can give to somebody.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And you know what? When somebody comes and tells you, and this is what humbled me last year, some of the people that when I was out in the polls, they came and told me, I voted for you because I believe in what you're saying, and they believe in my message and that my heart was there. That is a very humbling moment for somebody to tell you that. So yes, your vote is very precious, and I understood that more. A vote is very precious, and it gives a lot. It's worth a lot. You have people committing fraud for this, and I'm not gonna. I just don't give it away just like that.
Well, I'm gonna vote. I have voted since I was 18. Since I was 18 years old, I am proud to say that I have not missed one election. I am a staunch constitutional American. I am not a party affiliated, but right now, unfortunately, there's only one party that at least semi mirrors my belief system, because I know the other side epitomizes evil.
Yeah.
Evil. And so I have to vote against evil. I have to be a luchador. I also have to be a cristero, which means that we have to always keep this nation one nation under God, because all they want to do is divide us.
What if we start the Luchador MAGA movement?
I know, right? We need a Luchador MAGA movement.
No. Look, I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to say this because I have two beautiful women in front of me, and I am a luchador, and I can still say that, right? I can still say that there's two beautiful women in front of me right now. But I am going to say this. Latino women are going to be the saviors of America. The Latino women scare the hell out of Democrats. Conservative Latino women.
La chancla.
I'm telling you. You want to put the fear of God in Democrats? We need to go out and recruit and vote in conservative Latino women. And we don't even have to say the word conservative. Latinos are by default conservative. What do we believe in? God, family, country, and work.
Yes.
All right. And of course, education. But without an education, you can't believe in God. Yep. Without an education, you can't have a family. Without education, you can't have anything, right? So
Yep.
yes, obviously it's education, for you, but it's God, family, country, and work. And Latinas, I know, for a fact, I could never be a huevon in my home. If I wasn't working, I was cutting the grass, I was washing cars. My mom and my grandmother never let me just lie around. Never,
Mhm.
never. I always had to be doing something because that's what men do.
That's right.
Even
That's
the
right.
women, that was the way it was in the
Yeah.
house. My
That's
brother
why
was
we
not
have
there
the
doing the
women.
work.
The
Yeah.
women in my family made all of us men work, not
Yeah.
stop,
That's
and they
right.
rewarded us. And they rewarded us with love. They rewarded us by also working. They rewarded us by raising our family. They rewarded us by being the leaders that they are of the familia. Es la
Putting
mujer.
food on the table,
Putting
cocinando
everything. I'm
con
just
las
talking.
tortillas.
I'm talking, dándote la bendición every time you went off to work. Que Dios te bendiga.
Que Dios te bendiga.
That's the whole thing. That's what we are. And so we have got to go out. See, this is what the RNC has no idea. They have no clue. They have no idea how to even do this. They don't. They don't. Bianca, you know my history with them. Bianca, you know.
Oh yeah. I know you definitely that was a crazy that you were offered a very high position with RNC, and then Ronna McDaniel made sure you didn't get hired. So I know the history. They're just not there.
This is,
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go there, but I want to say Texas Barbecue says we need a Jesus revolution on Getter.
Texas
Snarky, I know Snarky Mark says beat the devil, then kick the rats.
yes.
Family first voters is Snarky Mark. I mean, Getter's on fire right now, guys. Getter's on fire, and everybody on Getter, share this podcast, because I know we're speaking a lot of truth right now, and this is a reality of what we think and what we feel is going on, and we're just voicing our concerns, our frustrations. We're voicing on right before, we've got November 8th. November 8th is right around the corner.
Next week.
And all the everything, you look at all the headlines across the country for about a month and a half now. They've been solemnly going on the Latino vote, the Latino vote, the Latino vote.
Yes.
I was very, very disturbed with Jorge Ramos, because he went after the Catholic Church, kind of tippy-toed around it, but he went after the Catholic Church and said, hey, the Latinos are leaving the Democrat Party because the Catholic Church, they're leaving to the Protestant, evangelical, and the Pentecostal churches because they can't have a relationship with a priest. And he didn't mean a relationship in that way, but it means just sit down with a priest and talk to a priest. I'm like, I just interviewed a priest when I was a Catholic. The priests were at the bingos. They were at the parish hall with us at the festival.
Beer with us.
Everywhere.
You could have a beer and some cheese and crackers with the priest.
Yeah.
What are you talking about that you can't
Yeah.
talk to the priest?
No, I mean, when was the last time Jorge Ramos was in a church, for God's sakes? Really? What the hell? What does that pendejo know, Jorge Ramos? When was the last time he was in a church, man? No, hombre, chihuahua. No, dile que se calle la boca.
He's an atheist. He's an atheist over
That's
there.
what I'm
trying to
talking
figure out
about.
why the Latinos are
What the
leaving
hell?
the
What does he
Democrat
know, man?
Party.
You know what I mean, chihuahua? Hombre, the only padre that pendejo knows are the freaking baseball padres. That's all he knows about it. I mean, San Diego Padres.
The baseball
Francisco.
Padres.
That's all he knows. No sabe nada ese güey.
Cheryl Sotero says, hey, has Luchador been on Steve Bannon? No, you have not. I think Steve Bannon would love you. He would love you. Samara Halleck says Jorge is an atheist, leftist puppet. Snarky Mark again on Bravo says, bravo guys, bravo. Listen, Texas Barbecue says, where can I purchase your mask, senor? We're gonna have some Latinos for America First mask.
Hey, this is a typical Latino mask, man. It's a combination of everything, like all Latinos are. We're a combination of todo, man. We're a menudo. We're a
We're
walking menudo. That's
menudo.
what we are, man.
Es
You know, Latinos
capirotada. Es
menudo. This is,
capirotada.
hey, I want
Capirotada.
everybody to finally see this is the menudo mask. You know what I mean? Made up of a little bit of everything.
But
Okay.
you know what I'll do for you, Luchador? I'll probably
What?
go to Progreso sometime and buy like a whole bunch of those masks, and you can
What?
give them out with the Latinos for America First emblem.
Thank you so much. I would love that. Thank
No,
you so
You
much.
can,
I
you
should
can.
go get
Hey, well,
some.
we go. I've been telling you, Luchador and I have talked about this for, man, about 3 years now. We've said we need to go on tour with
Yeah, yeah.
Luchador. Can you imagine going on tour in the Hispanic movement with a Luchador
Oh, man.
for freedom and liberty, and going and
Oh,
having Luchador and signing the, everybody would want that
Mhm.
máscara,
oh,
right? The fighter.
everybody.
Ooh, yo quiero ser un luchador. I mean, this is what we live for, man. We live for. Do you know, the other day I was interviewed on Friday? I was interviewed on Newsmax on their morning national report show. Do you know that we had a luchador, a boxer, a junior welterweight ring in the bell? Did y'all know that?
No.
I didn't know.
Yes. He was a
Uh,
junior. Hold on, I'll tell you what his name was. I wrote it down. I said I was like, whoa, this is awesome. He was, let me tell Lopez versus Pedraza, junior welterweight. He was doing the opening bell at, when the opening bell, you know what I'm talking about, the stock market.
Oh, the stock exchange. Yeah, he was at the opening.
Yes, and it was
Yeah.
awesome to see Latinos up there doing the opening bell. But of course, he was the fighter. He was like, boom, doing this when the opening bell was
Yeah.
going. I was like,
Yeah.
this is so awesome. I was like, I love that. And so I said, that's our culture. It's who we are.
100%.
Somos peleoneros.
We are, man. We are. We're luchadores, man. That's what I'm saying. We're luchadores. We're not victims. If you're a Latino and you call yourself a victim, then don't call yourself a Latino, for God's sakes, all right? Don't.
Then you're Latinx.
No, man.
You're Latinx.
That's those Latinx. What? Man, that again,
Who
man.
came up with that?
Hombre, Chihuahua. See, again, they have to put the X because illiterate Democrats, right, don't know how to write, so they can only do the X. That's what that represents to me, is illiteracy, all right? Every time I say it, that's illiteracy, all right? These again, no, man, don't be a pendejo and put an X at the end of Latino. Man, do you know who you represent as a Latino? Do you? If you call yourself a Latinx, then you are spitting on who you are. Let me tell you who you are, Latinos. You are the children of the old world and the new world colliding. You are the children of this nation. You are the founders of this nation. You are the constructors of this nation. You are Latino. You are an American. You are a luchador. You are a winner. Don't you ever put an X at the end of your name. Ever.
Salmara says the Latinx do not know where to even pee. Esa Samara Halek. Esa con sus chistes allá, la Samara Halek. Cheryl says, preach it. Man, we've had a good, listen, this was a special edition. I normally go live on Fridays, but Luchador, we're right around the corner. I mean, November 8th is literally what, we're gonna be November 3rd. So it's 6 days?
6 days away. 6 days away, Bianca.
So 6 days away, guys.
And I always vote. I always vote in person.
You need to go vote. You need to go vote. If there's somebody you don't want to vote for on the ballot, we get it. If you're not feeling like you want to go vote because you feel like me and Myra unmotivated, but you have to go vote. We have to vote. There's
somebody in the ballot that you can vote for. I mean,
there's people on the ballot.
Look, like I said, my philosophy is if we vote for those who have our belief systems, right, then it's up to us to hold them accountable. That's the problem, is there's no follow through. There's no follow through. We vote. We vote and we think that they're going to do what they said they're going to do. No. It's our job. Don't forget. The Constitution of this nation says who holds the power in the first 3 words. We
The
The
people.
people.
Yeah. The
Not
follow-up.
they, the elected. We, the people, hold the power. So once we vote for them, what do? Nos lavamos las manos y nos vamos a la casa? No, chale, man. That's not what we got to do. We got to hold these people accountable.
I haven't heard
Otherwise,
challenge forever,
oh,
man.
man,
Oh
hey,
my lord.
because if we don't hold these people accountable, then what do they turn into? They turn into pendejos. And
You
that's
know,
our fault.
you
We
know
can't
what's
let
gonna
these
be the
guys
key?
turn into pendejos.
No, you know
Right?
what's gonna be the key, Luchador? Is that voting is just the first part.
Correct.
That's it. We all have to learn to go vote because Latinos traditionally are the, voting bloc that typically doesn't show up to vote. Okay. But we have the numbers to make all the change.
Oh, my God.
The second part is that once we do the voting, we have to get ready and get ourselves, again, the knowledge of all the bills, and we have to start showing up at their offices, and we have to start
Correct.
lobbying or
Yes.
whatever you want to call it. I don't just activists, right? You have to go knocking on
Yes.
these representatives' doors, whether they're Republican or Democrat. If you end up in a Senate district that's Democrat, you still have to go to their door and tell them because they still represent you. See, this is the thing. You go, oh, it's a Democrat. I'm not going to go to Sheila Jackson's because no. Once she's in office, she's supposed to represent everybody. She doesn't just represent Democrats. She represents the whole district, whether you're conservative or not.
Mhm.
Excellent point, Bianca.
So you got to now start. That's where the fight's going to really be. Is after this vote, the fight is going to be showing up to Congress and to your state capitals with an agenda, with a letter, with a group, with friends, with your abuela and your mother, whatever. You got to bring toda la ralea. Vámonos, en un bus, whatever. My brother used to always say, they put you on the short bus. Sí, vámonos en a short bus. No le hace, vámonos. Short bus,
have to go
long bus, round bus, no me importa.
Like the old Mexican comic, La Familia Burrón. Todos atrapados en un camión. All right, all of us.
All of us. We're gonna have to show up.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to start holding them accountable, that they're not going to know what to do. See, they're not used to us. You're exactly right. Look, we ourselves didn't show up to vote to begin with.
Correct.
Then we don't even show up to go talk to them and tell them what we want and we expect them to do. So they've been doing whatever the heck they wanted to do this whole time.
Exactly.
And we let them get away with it.
When you don't hold them accountable, then they go do whatever they want. And look, it goes down to who has the power, not they. The elected, we, the people, have the power, and they know that. That is exactly why liberals want to take away our Second Amendment rights, because that's the only way that we can rise up against tyranny.
Mm-hmm.
The Second Amendment was not given to us to go hunt deer. We don't need that. Trust me, man. That was not. They didn't give us a Second Amendment to go out and hunt deer. The Second Amendment was given to us so that we can always have the ability to rise up against tyranny.
Tyranny, yeah.
That's what the Second Amendment was for, all right? And if you don't believe me, look at Latin America. None of those nations gave their people the right to bear arms. And who has all the guns? The corrupt government
and the
cartels.
Yep.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you disarm a free people. And just like that
they're not free.
The wise old adage is, when the people fear the government, you have tyranny.
Yeah.
When the government fears the people, you have freedom.
Yo, I'm laughing. I'm laughing at
the chat.
I know. Listen, America all the way says vote Cassie Garcia. Hey, we like Cassie. Yes. I actually do like Cassie. I think she's really knowledgeable. She's definitely worked her way through the ranks. Mm-hmm. She's worked for Senator Cruz a long time. And listen, Cassie was one of those that represented the office at the federal level, and she worked with everybody. She didn't say, "Oh, are you Republican?" because it's Senator Cruz's office. She worked with everybody in the community to make sure that whatever they needed through a senatorial, whatever they needed, that she helped them out. But she also came from the barrio, worked her way up, went to school against all odds, worked. So she is an idol. I mean, not an idol. I'm sorry, not to say that. Not an idol. I'm sorry. She is a true person that's come up through the ranks and really, we should be voting for her and supporting her. Cassie Garcia is definitely the wait, but Jeanette, listen, did you see Jeanette's thing? A toda madre y la pura verdad.
No, Gloria Perez, dear, about the hunting, dear for the tamales.
Dear for the tamales. You needed the gun to kill the deer for the tamales, man. No, a toda madre y pura verdad. Ándale, Jeanette. She's hilarious. Yes, Cheryl, I will still be back on Friday. I'm gonna have another. Listen, Luchador's on with us tonight. Tomorrow night, you guys are gonna meet a friend, another luchador, but his name is gonna be, what's his name? Tell me. No, luchador, what's his name?
Oh, which one? The one from Arizona?
One from Arizona. You guys are gonna meet another.
Are we gonna call him the Freedom Bandito?
The Freedom Bandido. Mañana you're gonna get to meet the Freedom Bandido.
All
yes.
Right.
Tomorrow night, 9:00. You guys do not want to miss the Freedom Bandido. And
That's
Cody
right.
Keg, I don't know if you're available, but you may want to come back on because you'll like Freedom Bandido. I think you're gonna.
I might, but the Astros are playing.
Nombre que Astros ya perdieron.
No.
I know. Tomorrow, I know the Astros. Do they play tomorrow? They do, right?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Are you sure it's not today?
No, they didn't play today. It's tomorrow.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Well, Cheryl says she'll be on. So yeah, we will definitely listen.
I'll have the game here.
You can tune into the game at the Astros and have your phone and watch what we're talking about because you don't want to miss the Freedom Bandido. You don't want to miss the Freedom Bandido. So he's hilarious. He's kind of one of another luchador, and I don't know what persona he's gonna be, but Freedom Bandido you're gonna really love, just like you love luchador.
They are playing right now.
They are playing.
Yes.
Hombre, ves, ni
oh
sabes. No que Astros, the Astros.
I saw it. They said that tomorrow. Oh my gosh.
No, te echaron la mentira. You see what happens when you live in a liberal world and you don't listen, you don't educate yourself. Now you thought that there was no game. Está bien loca. Luchador, listen, we got to bring you on more often.
Thank you for the honor of being with two leaders, and basically what I always have said, that conservative Latinas are the future of this nation, and I'm very proud to be here with you guys. I really am. It's an honor to be with you.
Well, Luchador, we should probably try to come live on either on Monday or even on Tuesday night on Super Tuesday. We should come out and just kind of cover some of the results if you're available.
Tuesday
night.
Tuesday night, I may definitely be available. Tuesday night, yeah.
We'll definitely talk about it, Luchador.
Yes,
we
please.
Definitely want to keep everybody, up informed of what's going on. There's going to be shenanigans. You and I both know it.
Yeah.
So definitely, but we want to definitely cover whether it's Monday night or we're going in or whatever.
I've been to all of these cities that have shenanigans, like Philadelphia, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
And I was in the 5th ward where all of these 200,000 votes all of a sudden showed up. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who's actually been in the 5th ward of Philadelphia, there's a lingering question that I had regarding the election. If you've been into the 5th ward, which is a heavily Democrat-run ghetto, it's a ghetto.
Right.
How can people who don't even throw out their trash get up to vote? The trash is piled high in the balconies. There's rats walking around in broad daylight because of the amount of trash that is on the tenements in these public housing apartments. The trash is piled high in their patios. They're not even patios anymore. They're collection bins for trash. How can people who don't even have the ability get up and put the trash out? How did they get up to go vote?
Yeah.
That's just a question. It really is a question that needs to be asked.
Listen, my friend Maria today said, this whole curbside voting thing, whatever that they supposedly got rid of. She said, first of all, how did you get out of bed and drive to the voting center, but you can't make it inside to go vote. But you were able to get out from your house.
Yes.
Drive down to wherever you had to go.
Yes.
And all of a sudden you can't walk or go in your wheelchair or whatever. You can't go a couple of more steps because, you know, all the voting centers have to be ADA. You have to have the ramp and everything. Mm-hmm. So she goes, why do we need curbside voting? If you can get in your car and go and drive to the voting location, why can't you go a little step further?
You know, that's all a ruse. We as conservatives, anytime a Democrat says voter oppression,
oh yeah,
we need to counter it with no. There's no such thing as voter oppression. There's election oppression. There's the oppression.
Listen, we came up with another one. When the Democrats come and tell us that we're suppressing the voters, no, we're suppressing voter fraud is what we're suppressing.
No, but they're oppressing the election.
Yeah.
They're oppressing. They're no voter oppression. They're oppressing the election. Oh my, like I said, man, we have got to be vigilant. We have got to be vigilant. I'm telling you, if some of these races don't go the way the pundits and the people, then one or two things happen. Number one, the dumbing down of America is complete. How people can still even be saying they're going to vote for a guy like Fetterman over Oz after that debate proves the level of indoctrination of, like I said, 3 generations of Americans now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So if Herschel Walker loses in Georgia, then that's going to prove the indoctrination and complete uneducation of the African American community after 3 generations of liberal education.
Yeah.
If we do not take control of the Senate, then that is going to give Biden a blank check to continue with his policies. And if you think what they've done to our children has been horrible to date,
it'll be worse.
Get ready. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, get ready. That's right. So right now, guys, get out the vote. We're still in early voting wherever you're at. Day of election is next Tuesday. And, you know, we've run a little bit over and we hear the Stros are in the lead. 5-0. 5-0. So I know, look, there she is. She's, ahora sí va a poner atención. Listen, I'm telling you guys, thank you so much. You guys have been awesome. Everybody's giving us some kudos. You got, you know, Texas barbecue over here, you know, saying, or Snarky Mark, I'm sorry, Snarky Mark saying, hey, you know, all 3 of you are a solid group. Thank you, Snarky Mark, for tuning in. Share our message. You know, everybody saying, hey, God bless us. Thank you very much. God bless y'all too. God bless all of our audience. And listen, guys, Luchador, don't be a stranger. You know, we're going to have to get you back on. Remember, tomorrow I'm still live with the Freedom Bandido out of Arizona. You will not want to miss that. And hopefully maybe Cody Cag will come back on. So definitely love you guys. From yours truly, La Conservadora Tejana Bianca Gracia with Cody Cag and El Luchador. Luchador, show us your muscles. You're out there. Look at that. Woo! Luchador, he's getting ready to go in the ring.
Un abrazo.
Go Astros.
Un abrazo.
Un abrazo. All right, guys. Hey, we love you guys. Peace out.
Love you too. Bye-bye. Be careful.